Okay. Calling the neighborhood board to order. First point of order, of business on the agenda, we have the emergency responder monthly reports. We have the Honolulu Fire Department. Allah, how's it?
I'm Captain Scott Kahalu'u from the Kahalu'u Fire Station. The stats for July, we had 3 nuisance fires, 3 active alarms, no fire, 49 medicals, and 3 motor vehicle collisions. The fire safety tip of the month is emergency notifications and resources. Understand how you'll be alerted to urgent emergencies, and knowing where to find accurate information and is a key part of being prepared. Learn more at honolulu.gov/dem/stay-informed. These are the alert methods. First one is opt-in alerts. These notify individuals have signed up to receive alerts via text, email, or app push notifications based on the user's preferences. Alerts are not sent based on location. One, systems include HNL Alert and official government social media. Number 2, sign up at hnlalert.gov to receive notifications. 3, alerts may be shared by official city and state and trusted partner accounts. Another alert method is public alert and warning systems. These systems deliver urgent life-saving information during immediate threats to public safety. In Hawaii, this includes emergency alert system, EAS, and number 2, wireless emergency alerts, WEA. 3, outdoor warning sirens. Depending on the emergency, 1 or more of these systems may be activated. Are there any questions or concerns?
Any questions or concerns from board members in person? Board members online? Any questions or concerns from members of the public in person? Online? Okay, seeing none. Mahalo nui. Thank you very much for your report. Yeah, make sure to make a plate before you head out. We get all kind of food over here, brother. Thank you, thank you. Okay, moving on to Honolulu Police Department. We have HPD. Any rep from HPD online? Nobody from HPD. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next point of business on the agenda. We have filling of vacancies on the board. We do still have 2 vacancies on Subdistrict 6. Do we have anyone here in person to go ahead and place their names to serve for Subdistrict 6? Any nominees from board members in person? Nominees from board members online? Any members of the public online interested in serving and representing Subdistrict 6? Okay, mahalo nui. We're going to move on and roll that over to the next agenda for next month. We're going to move on to election of officers. First point of business on this is chair. Anyone want to make a nomination for chair?
Nominate Parker Spencer for chair to continue on in the next term.
Anyone like to make a second? I second. We have it moved and seconded. Do you want to take a roll call vote? Are there other nominations other than Parker Spencer? Okay, if not, we can go ahead and take the vote.
Okay, when I call your name, please say Spencer or just say name. Bender, absent. Kealoha? Spencer, thank you. Kubo? Spencer? Lavasser?
Aye.
Aye. Spencer, thank you. Arthur Machado? For Spencer, thank you. Keone?
Spencer.
Spencer, thank you. Masterson?
Spencer.
Thank you. Makanai? Spencer? Miller? Spencer? Powell?
Spencer.
Spencer, thank you. Rapun? Absent. And then Spencer? Spencer. Yep. Winchester?
Spencer.
Thank you. Okay. So with that, we have 11 for Spencer and 0 nays, and abstains. Thank you.
Mahalo, Nay. Mahalo for everyone's support. We'll continue on and move on to the next point of business. We have the vice chair. Anyone would like to nominate a vice chair for the board?
I'd like to nominate Jesse Makainai.
We have that moved and seconded. Any other nominees for vice chair? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and take the same roll call vote.
Okay, so you can say Makanai or nay or abstain. Thank you. Bender, absent. Kaloha. Makanai, okay, thank you. Kubo. Jesse, okay. Lavasser,
Aye.
thank you for Jesse. Arthur,
Aye.
for Jesse, thank you. Keone,
Makainai.
thank you. Masterson,
Makainai.
thank you. And then Jesse, Makanai. Get to you can vote for yourself or abstain. Vote for yourself, thank you. Miller, for Jesse, okay. Powell,
Makainai.
thank you. For Pun, absent. And then Spencer,
Okay, Nay.
you. Winchester,
Makainai.
thank you. Okay, so with that, we have 11 for McKnight, 0 nays and 0 abstains. Thank you, Jesse, you're vice chair.
Mahalo, congratulations. For the next point of business for second vice chair, I'd like to open this up for discussion before we go ahead and take any nominees. Do any board members in person or online feel that a second vice chair is necessary to serve on this board in the current capacity that we did add, additional board members in this past election? Any thoughts? Okay, go ahead.
There was maybe 1 to 2 times where we exercised that when it happened. Is that right? Because of things along the way. I know that everything's, we're moving forward in life but is that something we should prepare for in general? Just to ask the question.
Yeah, so we exercised that when my son was in the hospital. He's better now, but it is something that could happen at any point in time. So if the board feels like we need that, then my suggestion would be to throw in one of our newer board members so that in this capacity, they can start to learn the executive roles. And should we need to cross that bridge, then we could cross that bridge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Coco.
I agree with Jesse on that one. When I was second vice chair, I actually served as chair multiple times because of the absences of both the chair and vice chair. So having one of the newer board members learn through that capacity, it taught me a lot personally. So I can speak from that experience.
Mahalo. One more thing? Yeah.
Just want to clarify and say, I'm so happy your son is doing better. And there are, it's not only you. So please know that was not personally, but with great love. I'm so happy to hear that he's doing better. I absolutely agree with you that the younger board members, or newer board members, I should say, that would be good for them. Mahalo. If anybody is willing or wants to step up to the plate, can I add that?
Mahalo nui. Any other comments, board members online? Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and take any open nominations for second vice chair. Uncle Ken, go ahead.
Oh, I was wondering if we could do it at another, defer it to another time if we need it, so we can move on right now.
Sure, we can go ahead and defer that.
I move to
We'll
defer it.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll roll that over till next month. Put that on the next agenda for the second vice chair. Yeah. Anyone in opposition of that decision? We're okay with that? Okay. Okay. Looking at secretary, moving on to secretary. Any nominees for secretary?
I nominate Holiamai Kealoha.
Second? I'll second that motion. We have it moved and seconded. Anyone, any other takers for secretary or nominees for secretary? In person? or online? Okay, if not, we'll take a roll call vote.
Okay, when
Comment.
I call your name,
Should we ask? Thumbs up.
She says,
thank
okay.
you.
okay. So when I call your name, say Kealoha, nay, or abstain. Bender, absent. Kealoha, do you vote for yourself? Okay, thank you. Kubo? Thank you, Kealoha. Lavasser?
Aye.
Okay, for Kealoha. Arthur? Okay, Kealoha. Keone?
Kealoha.
Thank you. Masterson?
Aloha.
For Kealoha? Yes, thank you. Miller? Kealoha. Powell?
Aloha.
Thank you. Rapon? Absent. Spencer?
Kealoha.
Kealoha, thank you. Winchester?
Aloha.
Thank you. So with that, we have 11 for Kealoha, 0 nays, 0 abstains. Kealoha, you are the secretary. Thank you.
All right, mahalo, Rachel. Thank you very much for all that. We're going to be looking over at the next one, which is treasurer. I'm going to look at moving that and rolling that over if no one is in opposition. I don't think Uncle Dan is online right now. Oh, Uncle Art, you're interested? Okay,
Of course.
sure. Any other interested members in person? Any other interested members online? Okay, I'm sorry. Can I have someone make a motion to nominate Uncle Art for treasurer? Just in case,
So moved.
just for protocol.
Make a motion to nominate Art Machado for treasurer.
We haven't moved. Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a move and second. Can I get a roll call vote?
Okay, so this is for Arthur to be the treasurer. Okay, so when I call your names, say Arthur, nay, or abstain. Bender? Absent. Kealoha? Arthur, okay, thank you. Kubo? Arthur. Lavasser?
Aye.
For Arthur. And then Arthur Machado, do you accept to vote for yourself? Thank you. Okay. Keone?
Arthur.
Arthur. Masterson?
Arthur.
Arthur. Makanai? Okay. Arthur, thank you. Miller? For Art. Okay. Powell?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, and then Rapun? Absent. Spencer?
Arthur.
Arthur. Okay. Winchester?
Arthur.
For Arthur, thank you. Okay, so we have 11 for Arthur, 0 nays and 0 abstains. So Arthur will be the treasurer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Rachel, again for all of that. So we know we do have our officers. But again, just to reiterate, we're going to move over the second vice chair to next month. Moving on to the next point of business in our agenda, we have the initial convening. Currently, this board meets at the Key Project on the second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. As it stands, if anyone is not in opposition of that, I'd like to keep that as standing. Keep the time, date, location the same. If there's no opposition, do we need a vote? Are we just gonna if I can get a motion to keep the location and meeting time and date?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. If we can take a roll call vote, or do we need a roll call vote? We good. Okay. If I can just all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Okay, mahalo. Moving on to the next point of business on our agenda, we have the board recess schedule. The board has allotted 3 recesses within the term year. Right now, I believe it is standard practice on this board that we usually take December for Christmas. I think it's also standard practice that we've taken June just as a 6-month interim to take a break there. I think we are allotted 3. So I'm not sure if anyone did want to propose an additional one, or we usually just kind of have that on the side in case something does come up, or in case we do want to have, a break in the course of some type of busy months. So as that stands, I'd like to keep that the same with one recess in December and one recess in, what is it? June. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Molinary. Roll call. I'm sorry. We're gonna do voice vote one more time on that. All in favor. Can I get an aye?
I,
All opposed.
Aye.
Can I get a no? Mahalo. The motion passes. We'll go ahead and move on to the next point of business on the agenda. We have adoption of oral testimony rules. Right now, the board is to determine the amount of allocated time for speakers along with a designated timekeeper. Right now, presentations are at 10 minutes.
I'd like to suggest we move it to 7, just to give enough time for community to ask their questions. And I feel like 7 is sufficient without going overboard on detail.
Is there any discussion? Members in person? Uncle Art?
I have a question.
Yes.
We have 4 new members on the board. I would like to have them be introduced and what area they come from.
Okay. If we can do that right at the end, right before city, state, federal reports, we can do that. We're just trying to get the chunk of the board business, Paul. But we will. Mahalo nui. Thank you. Looking at 10 minutes right now, we had discussion. Any discussion on moving that to 7 minutes? No discussion. Oh, Ian, go ahead.
I agree. However, do you really think that people's presentations will have enough detail in the 7 minutes to be able to?
I feel like they should be able to compact it. They have in the past, because we need time for community to input on this. And I realize that if we surpass certain things, then there might be questions that they didn't cover. But so look at the agenda for tonight. And this is one of the more mild agendas we've had. That's 40 minutes of our meeting on just presentation time, and we have a 3-hour limit. So
I recognize and understand where you're coming from and do want to give community even more time. to speak.
right. I want to extend community time and limit presentation time if possible. That's the manao behind that.
Mike Cutty. Thank you.
Mahalo. Any other discussion? Okay, if not, I'll take a motion for 7 minutes.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Moved in second. We'll do the same thing on this one. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, say no. Thank you very much. We'll have that amended to 7 minutes. Moving on to reports. Currently, those stand at 3 minutes. Any discussion on 3 minutes or amending that time? Right now, that is for reports. City, state, federal, county reports. Any discussion? Board members in person? Board members online? Okay, we'll go. If not, I'll take a motion to keep that as is, standing at 3 minutes.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Moved in second. We're going to take a voice vote once again. Can I get all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, say
Aye.
no. Thank you very much. The motion passes. We're going to keep that at 3. Yep, go ahead, Vice Chair.
I just want to remind everybody that although we are establishing the rules of speaking so that people who attend our meetings can have it set in their mind what the decorum is going to be, that it is always up to the discretion of the chair. So if a topic needs more time, chair can allow for more time. And if topic actually needs shorter time, chair can also cut the time. So just for community and board members alike, that is the rule. It's the discretion of the chair.
Thank you.
Mahalo for the clarification, Vice Chair. Moving on, we have community concerns. Those currently stand at 2 minutes. Any discussion on 2 minutes standing for community concerns?
Chair, I'd like to extend the time to 3 minutes and 30 seconds if possible. I feel like that's a little bit more adequate to get across a full community concern.
Any discussion on 3 minutes and 30 seconds? 3 minutes, 30 seconds in total. Any discussion from board members in person? Discussion from members online? Okay, if not, I'll take a motion for 3 minutes, 30 seconds for community concerns.
So
Second.
So
moved.
moved.
I have it moved in second, and we're going to do a voice vote on that one as well. Can I get all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. All right, the motion passes. Mahalo nui. We're going to adjust that to 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Moving to question and responses, right now, those currently stand at a minute. Do we want any discussion on a 1 minute adjustment? Adjustment from a minute. I'll take discussion from members in person. Discussion from members online. Okay, seeing none, can I get a motion for 1 minute?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
We have it moved in second. Right now, we'll take a voice vote on that as well. We have 1 minute standing. All in favor, say aye. All
Aye.
opposed, say no.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Motion passes. We'll take 1 minute for questions and responses. Moving on to item D, we have creation of board committees and chairs. I'm gonna go ahead and roll this over to next agenda, for next month. I'm still planning that out and I will have that to you folks shortly. Just looking to go ahead and get everything coordinated. From there, we're gonna move on to city, state, federal reports. But before we do that, just to Uncle Art's point, I do want to go ahead and allow our new members to go ahead and make an introduction. We'll start with members in person. We'll start with Uncle Ron. Aloha, brother. Go ahead and just introduce yourself, name, where you from, and why you decided to jump on the board.
My name is Ron Kugel. I was a board member about 7 or 8 years ago for about 3 years. I live right down the street. So I must be in Kahalu'u area. Yeah, Kahalu'u. And I've been retired for the last 11 years. Backgrounds in I have a MFA in fine arts and educator. Taught at the University of Hawaii community colleges and retired from the federal government. Thank you.
Mahalo, brother. Thank you for serving. Nice to meet you. We'll move on to this side. We'll go
Oh,
this
can I
way.
say something?
Oh, yeah, Uncle Ken, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd
Thank you
like
for
to
having us.
welcome Ron back. I remember working with him in the past. He's a great guy. I look forward to working with him in the future. Mahalo for coming back, Ron.
Right on. Thanks, Uncle Ken. Mahalo. Yeah, we'll go this way. We'll head towards Hali'a. So, yeah, Pili'oha, go ahead.
My name is Pili'oha Miller. I am from Kahalu'u. I guess I'm District 3. See, I raised my children here. I have 3 of them. And I have a degree in business management, and that's what I do. I do events and manage businesses, things that we have in our family businesses and stuff like that. So I'm serving on the board. I used to work for the Neighborhood Commission Board years ago, and now I am serving to fill in the needs for our community. So thank you.
Mahalo nui. Thank you for serving.
Aloha, I'm Hali'a. I live in Ohui Manu, so sub-district 5. I currently work in marketing for Queens Health Systems, so at the hospital. And then, yeah, I just was looking for a way to give back and get more involved in the community.
Mahalo nui. Nice to meet you all in person. Moving on, do we have any new members online?
Hello, I'm here. Yep. Hello, my
Hey,
name
there
is
we go, brother.
Dayton Waiakea Winchester. I represent Ohui Manu, Sub-District 5. I'm an Army veteran. I work for the federal government now, and my schooling is in political science. I just want to serve the board, and I look forward to serving with you all.
Awesome. Mahalo, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for serving. Welcome on board. All right. Thanks again, Uncle Art. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can we get a map or the address of each person that is on the board with their phone number and their internet?
Sure.
Because I think it's really important that we are from different district. We should, once in a while, if we have a question within our district, we can talk to the individual who represent that area.
Yep.
So I haven't seen any. I know back when I was president, we had a handout, and the handout also had a picture and had something like this.
Can
And I think we need it.
Sure.
It's very important.
No, 100%. I agree. I know we do have a contact sheet that's listed on the Neighborhood Commission website. It does list our emails and our phone numbers along with the district that we do serve. But I do think you're right. Putting it alongside a map is helpful for some of our residents, yeah, and community members. Vice Chair.
I just want to remind board members though, not community. Community, you can talk to any of us whenever you want. But board members, we cannot discuss between each other things that are going to be agendized or have recently been agendized that we are going to take action on amongst each other more than you with one other person. So 3 of us cannot bala'au about an issue because we are, we are subjected to the Sunshine Law. So just remember that in your conversations. Thank you.
Mahalo nui.
Thank you.
We have a hand raised from Uncle Ken online. Uncle Ken, you're recognized.
I'm sorry. If Rachel is really busy, I've done this every year anyway. If she would like me to do it and I'll run it by her, and then she can present it, I'll be glad to work for her, with her to do that job.
Right on. Mahalo for your volunteer there, Uncle Ken. We'll go ahead and make sure Rachel reaches out to you if anything. Thank you.
Okey-doke.
Okay, if no more discussion under board business, I'm gonna move on to city, state, and federal reports. We have the Mayor Rick Blangiardi's office. We have Warren Mamizuka. Is Warren here? Hey, how's it, Warren? Aloha.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Warren Mamizuka. I am the Deputy Director for the Department of Facility Maintenance and the Mayor's representative. My first night here, so I actually thought we're starting at 7. And I was having supper. I said, hey, try check. He said 6 o'clock. And I was like, oh, I gotta go. So right on time. So perfect. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so the report. There's 3 reports for this month. The first one is the 10-year request for a crosswalk. And this is near Heiakea Boat Harbor. The Department of Transportation Services, they conducted a investigation regarding the request to install a marked sidewalk on Kamehameha Highway at Heiakea Boat Harbor, which, after the study, it was determined that a sidewalk was not necessary because of the amount of traffic that wasn't met in that area. So that's the report for that one. Second is a request for grass maintenance on the Mauka side of Kamehameha Highway near Heiakea Pier. So the Department of DFA, Facility Maintenance, Roads Division, they did an investigation on the property owner, and that section is actually owned by the state DLNR. And technically, the abutting owner has a responsibility to clear that that vegetation in that area. Okay. Number 3, there was a homeless population concern between the hygienic store and King Intermediate School. The Honolulu Police Department District 4, which is Kahalu'u, Kaneohe, and Kahuku, the community policing team assisted in an enforcement operation on the hillside considered city property across from Heiakea Boat Harbor. Outreach assistance was offered, of which were declined. Follow-up checks were made, and unfortunately, the displaced individuals have moved further up the ridge onto private property. Officers will continue to take appropriate enforcement actions when violations are observed. And that completes my response. And at this time, I'll take any questions.
Any questions from board members in person?
Sorry, use the microphone.
Hey, sorry, just jump on the mic again. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you clarify the DLNR itself is the owners over there? DLNR, what division or that you said the state of Hawaii is? Just want to make sure we know who to ask to cut the grass.
Yeah, all I have is a state DLNR. It doesn't say what division of DLNR.
Okay, and regarding the sidewalk, is there any sort, I mean, there's so many people there all the time, especially on the weekends, that I wonder when they went, if their assessment was appropriate, especially on a calm, glassy day. So plenty of people going over there and plenty of commercial activities. So wondering, it's not very safe without a crosswalk over there for sure. We were really hoping it would happen. But just
Oh, for
making
the
that
crosswalk,
comment.
for-
Yeah, for the
okay,
crosswalk
yeah.
side.
For that-
Sorry, the grass there. Yeah, that's who owns it. But with the crosswalk, it's really about safety.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they conduct their surveys. So I think we might have to come back with a report on that next month.
Yeah, any findings? Thank you. Any findings would help us understand it better. But yeah, we think there's a need.
Okay.
Mahalo. Any other questions or concerns from board members in person?
So that's my district and or my sub-district, and I ran that sidewalk this past week, Monday. And the grass is cut. However, it's not cut enough. So do we know if DLNR has a maintenance schedule, like how long that, how often they will be out there? Because that turn is terrible. I mean, you can't see anything. And even though the grass is cut, you can barely see the sidewalk because it's just cut, but left there. So,
Yeah, I can't answer for DLNR. I can answer for the city.
yeah.
So we're on like a 6 to 8 week program. If we come here this week, you can count on us being back 6 to 8 weeks. As we hire new warm bodies, groundskeepers and whatnot, we're trying to bring bring that number down to like 4 to 6 weeks. So I can't answer your question for DLNR.
Mahalo. Should I save that? Should I put a pin in that question, and then we'll roll that over to Katie Lambert for the Gov's office. If she's not on now, she'll be on later in the agenda, and so maybe we can repeat that question to her. Any other questions or concerns from members in person? Yeah, Uncle Art.
One of my biggest concern is from 7-Eleven to St. John's Water Sea, the overgrowth. The bus driver talked to me, he has to drive in the middle of the road because the overgrowth is hanging over the bus. But that area is very important. If we get a storm and you get a chance to look at that area, the overgrowth is very dangerous. So hopefully something can be done. Nothing has been done in that area for at least 5 years. I live in that area. So that is my concern.
Mahalo.
So
Thank
I
you.
guess we'll have to do some research on, are the trees growing in private property? Is it owned by the city? And then from there, yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to you next month. Yeah.
Uncle Art, if we could, sorry, brother, just throw him on the mic. Mahalo.
Yeah, 35, 40, 45 miles wind and the tree's gonna fall. The overgrowth is very dangerous in that area.
All right. Thank you.
Mahalo. Thank you very much, Vice Chair.
I just want to add to Uncle Art's point, because the majority of us that live in 4, 5, and 6 have to drive that way home as well. So even if the trees are on private property, there's definitely weeds growing across the public utility lines, which is falling to the city. So that at least bare minimum needs to be mitigated.
Mahalo. Thank you very much. Any other comments, questions, or concerns from the mayor's office from members in person? Members online? Uncle
Yes.
Ken?
Yes. I've been the transportation infrastructure chair, whatever you like, and probably now I'm hoping to be the de facto infrastructure chair for 30 some odd years. And this has always been an issue. What you need to do is look at the width of the road. It's 20 feet. The right of way that the city is responsible for is 40 feet. So you take from the midline to the sidewalk and double that, and you find the trees are under their responsibility, all the land inside of the DLNR property up at Yakea side is the responsibility of the city. All this is city property. And when they tell you to come here and say, oh, the city, this and that, not responsible or can't do the job. No, it's your responsibility. And if somebody wanted to, they could actually sue the city. If an accident happens, somebody gets killed, the lawyer is going to sue the city, and I'm going to be a witness against the city because I've been saying this for years. You guys got to do something. Do what we're asking, please, before somebody gets killed or seriously injured. Okay, because you own, that's 10 feet to the sidewalk, and then another 10 feet past the sidewalk into the hillside, by the way. That hillside is encroaching on city and county property. Your property goes up the hillside. And those
Mahalo, Uncle Ken.
trees are on your property down by St. John's. So
We can go ahead and we'll
don't
make sure
try
that he
to
follows
avoid
up
it.
with that.
It's your property. Thank you.
No, yeah, we'll make sure that the mayor's office gets a response over to you, especially on those trees, and then any kind of outstanding maintenance that needs to be handled in that area. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on to Keone online. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so Uncle Ken kind of just touched a little bit on what I was going to be talking about. So earlier in your report, you stated that when the homeless issue came up, they went up that hill where they were staying, and then the homeless's response was to move into private property. So the police or city and county, it was their issue to go up there and check that out, and they were on city property at the time. The hill that they were staying on is the same hill that we're all talking about. The grass needs to be cut back. So I'm confused now, and I just want clarification. What is it? Is it DLNR or is it city? Because Uncle Ken just made a very good point that the easement, it does technically fall still under the city. My dad used to work at the roads division at the King School base yard, and they took care of it all the time when I was a kid. I would see my dad when I was coming on the bus home from school, see my dad on the side of the road taking care of that hillside. So I don't know when that changed or anything, but yes, I mean, we're all, as a community here, very concerned of that area, because we do have people, we witness people walking on the road because they can't walk on that side. We do see that there is foot traffic, and there actually was a lot more foot traffic before when that sidewalk was accessible. So even that investigation now from the sidewalk is invalid because people aren't crossing the street because they can't use the sidewalk. So
Mahalo. Thank
that's
you,
just one of
Keone.
my concerns. I know it's not you, it's the people who sent you. You're the messenger, so giving it back to you. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Now we'll get that followed up. We'll get that checked on. Appreciate it, brother. And then thank you for your concerns. Any other questions or concerns from members in person? Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Kalamai. So actually past the roundabout, on the hygienic store side of the road where city parks and DOT kind of merge, we have a bunch of vendors, which we love the vendors, but it's creating traffic congestion that's very, very dangerous. So we need a remedy. My suggestion was to ask the vendors to move down to Kahalu'u Regional Park on that side area still facing the road. That way people can safely park. But I'm sure that requires a permit. So if city and DOT could get themselves together so that we can enforce that so we don't have accidents, we would greatly appreciate it. Mahalo.
Mahalo very much. Any other questions or concerns from members in person? Members online? Uncle Ken, is there one last comment?
Yes,
quick
real quick. The city might be benefited by the PUC regulation for Hawaiian Electric that any growth within 10 feet of their power lines has to be managed and trimmed back by their contractor, their arborist contractor. So you might be able to get the down by St. John's side, hygienic store, that area. You might be able to get Hawaiian Electric to do their job and cut it back within 10 feet of those power lines. Good luck.
Mahalo. Good input. Any other questions, concerns from members?
Sorry, last one. Sorry, we interrupted your dinner. We do potluck. Please make a plate and
I'm
take
not
food
doing that.
home. And then now we're going to move on to community. Thank you, Chair.
No problem. Moving on to community members in person. Auntie Rocky, try hand her a mic. Can somebody give her a mic, please? Mahalo.
Hello, Mike. Are you one of them
Yeah,
from Kaneohe?
yes.
Okay, I know you're not too familiar with Hiakia, and I think maybe the city, you can educate them to do their homework because evidently across at the Mount Kasai is not owned by the Department of Land and Natural Resources. It belongs to the Hawaii HCDA, Hawaii Community Development Authority. And our Kakoa EV crew has been cleaning that side of the road inward up on the hillside. But the city has to remember, they own the sidewalk. They should be cleaning that sidewalk. And we're doing our best. I remember when my grandfather and even my uncle, they were the lunas for the city and county. That grass area was manicured, beautiful. The hibiscus trees is. I'm not going to say they're getting lazy. I'm just saying it's a different kind of grass. It's growing differently. And the amount of the way the weather is moved, the grass blooms so, much more now, bushes, and they need to be trimmed out more. But I know for a fact that DLNR does not own that side. We're trying our best because I work with the Kakoa EV farm guys too, to clean that area. But the city we got to do a good partnership, and they got to clear the sidewalks.
Mahalo nui. Thank you very much. Any other?
One more thing.
One more thing.
They didn't check the sidewalk on weekends. That place is horrible on weekends. You're going to be like Aha'olaka. They're going to wait for somebody to die and do something about it. You got to walk around cars. This past weekend, the wheels on the cars parked on the side of the road, way past the strip for Hiakia was on the road. When people walking catching the bus, got to walk around those cars.
Mahalo nui. Thank you very much. I think I have any other questions from, sorry, just a thought. Any other questions from community in person? Community online?
Sakamoto, Chair.
Hey, Uncle Donald, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Donald Sakamoto, President of Citizens for a Fair ADA Ride. I deal with ADA for elderly and disabled for the bus, handyvan, and unfortunately Skyline. I advocate for the ADA. The ADA law was signed on July 26, 1990 by George Herbert Walker Bush, bipartisan by Congress. It's mandated that the sidewalks, anything has to be accessible for the disabled, anybody. And this is a travesty. And the mayor made a proclamation on July 25th at the state capitol for the ADA 35th anniversary. Governor Green did. And I got an award from City Council, full City Council on July 9th for my advocacy work for public transportation for ADA. So things have to be done to address this because it's an ADA federal mandate and you folks get federal money from the city gets and the state, etc. So thank you for allowing me to speak, Chair.
Mahalo. Thank you, Donald. Any other questions, community concerns for the mayor's office? Okay. I think I have just one more thing, brother. I think, just one thing that I noticed, and this is just an observation just from me and my travels. Like when I go outside and I go mainland, at a lot of bus stops at the mainland, you see a lot of these advertisements, advertising things on like sex trafficking, local community issues, like things that are trying to be addressed, But at our bus stops, there's not a lot of advertisements, And so just if we can get kind of like a response or like a charter that corresponds with something on why we don't do that, And if there is none, I'd like to see that be promoted a little bit more if can. But if there's nothing else, please go back home, enjoy your meal, brother.
Thank you. Away. I think I'm going to be busy here once a month, so thank you for having me.
No worries. Appreciate you.
We'll do my best to be in person. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Aloha. We're gonna put a pin where we're at right now in city, state, federal reports, and we're gonna jump back just for the sake of HPD being here in person. We're gonna go back to Honolulu Police Department and then just get the report from our officer here. How's it, brother?
Good evening, board and audience. I'm Lieutenant Sanford Yu, I'm one of your 3 lieutenants for District 4 and the night watch. I present the stats for July. July, we had 2 motor vehicle thefts compared to 0 for the previous month, 0 burglaries, 7 regular thefts compared to 1 the previous month, 2 motor vehicle break-ins compared to 3 the previous month, and 0 robberies compared to 1 the previous month. Willing to answer any questions at this time?
Any questions from members in person? Members online? Oh, members in person? Yeah, go ahead, Uncle Ron.
This past Sunday, about 1:30, around 1:30 p.m. On Kahekili, I got caught up with about 50 or 70 teenage bike riders that was doing wheelies and taking over the road. I got caught between Kahekili and Henry Road, and they went all the way down to 7-Eleven where I stopped. Was there any other people reporting this?
I was off, but I can check.
Okay.
But in the future, please call 911 so we can address it.
You know, it's almost impossible for the police to do anything. It's like
Bicycle or electric bike or motorcycle?
electric bike. It was like well organized. There was like a front car, back car. You know, when they went down on Kahekili on the Gulch area, man, they were doing like wheelies, like unreal. I mean, on one wheel, you know, standing up on the bars and everything else. Yeah.
Enforcement is hard because 99% of the time they're going to run away. We can't pursue them now.
Oh yeah, but they gathered at 7-Eleven and there was somebody waiting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they see us, they're going to cockroach and split. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw a police vehicle going the opposite way. So they kind of saw that whole group there. But and just wondering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just call 911, please.
Uncle Ron, any other questions, community concerns in person? I'm sorry, board members in person. Online. Board members online. Okay, moving community members in person. Auntie Rocky, go ahead. 1 second, Auntie Rocky. Let's get you on mic. You can keep that one. You can keep that one.
No, wow. Well, I wanted to mahalo you guys for coming to the Hiakia Pier because we live near the pier and quite often we call. You know, lately they've been blowing a lot of fireworks there because my neighbor's dogs come running in my bedroom shaking up because of the fireworks. But also they're doing like the bike wheeling, they're doing wheeling on the cars at night at the Hiakia Pier. You can hear them screeching going in circles at the pier. But more likely, it would be good for them to, you know, check on weekends, the parking over there. The week that we had our fishing tournament for the kids, a friend of ours came out of there. He said he counted 123 cars parked on the side of the road. Out of that 123 cars, he said about 20 of them, their wheels was on the road.
That was daytime, Auntie.
That was daytime.
You got to call 911 so
Okay.
they can come by.
Okay, mahalo.
Yeah.
Mahalo nui. Go ahead. Just pass the mic. Thanks.
Aloha, board members and HPD. My name is Deborah King, and I'm a resident in Chinatown. And I believe that the whole island is my community. And this is also a concern with the wheelies in other areas. In fact, when I drove up here and was parking, somebody was doing a wheelie, and I shook my finger at him, and he came back down doing a wheelie. So my question is, if I take a video and get specific details,
No.
will that help?
No. Only thing a video helps us for is fireworks enforcement.
Fireworks. Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you.
We have to witness a violation in person to issue a citation, other than fireworks.
Other than fireworks. Okay. Mahalo for that clarification.
Then how do we enforce the no wheelies? Because they know this.
Yeah, city or state has to make stricter laws.
There we are.
Thank you. I'll take videos and then present it to make the laws. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Vice Chair?
Calling my lieutenant, I can time myself too, you know, so I can't get myself in trouble for going overtime. So would it be helpful for HPD to get legislation for something like that, since we just had a wheelie death of a young man not too long ago?
There is legislation, but it's weak. So they classify those certain types of e-bicycles as electric motorcycles. But parents are buying children a vehicle that can go 60 miles an hour.
Does HPD have language that they would want the
There
bill
is language, but
to be
again,
adjusted?
enforcement is difficult because they flee.
Okay.
We pull them over and they'll run away, and we can't pursue because laws and department policies, and if they get in an accident and get hurt,
Mhm.
they end up suing the department and the city.
So if there were something that needed to be adjusted, would that be at the city level or the state level or both in the
Both.
legislation?
City, state, and department policy.
If you guys have any language for that, I'd be happy to take it in email form and present it at the Capitol.
Our pursuit policy is very strict as what we can pursue.
Okay.
So we're very restricted.
Okay, sorry, I'm over time. Thank you.
Oh, good. Mahalo nui. Thank you for the clarification on all of those things. If we could just pass the mic to Uncle over here. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Just for the record. Okay.
My question is, I live here over 70 years in Kahalu'u. We own on Valley up here. Okay. Yeah, over 70 years. I'm 73 years old. Okay. We get homeless moving up into our area. On our property. What I want to know is what can I do to these guys to get these people out of there? They got dogs, and the dogs are attacking our animals. And these guys, they come down from the mountain, yeah? And actually, I just like to know what I can do to get these people out of there. Because they moved from here to there. And pretty soon, we're going to have a colony up there.
Do you have definite markings for where your property line
We
is?
get signs. Our property is all fenced up.
So if they're on your property, call 911. We'll meet with you. We'll trespass them from your property. And then,
But if you're going to come get them, you cannot go like that. Because where they're at, you got to get full fatigues. I mean, we're going to hike, you know.
I'll give you my email. It might be something better for our community policing guys.
Okay.
So the guys that go up into the mountain last time.
Well, my son is one of the SWAT here in Canberra. And he told me, oh, come to the neighborhood board meeting and see what they say I can do. I'm tired of these guys because they come down from our mountain with bags of their clothes, and you go up the mountain, get cans and get all kind of rubbish and stuff. So we got to do something. But what can we do? Yeah, me and my brother was a policeman. My brother was the chief. What you call? Chopo president.
Who's that?
Nick Canberra.
Mahalo.
So we all okay.
Solo like Nikki, right?
Yeah. But what I want to know is what I can do. If
Yeah.
this board cannot help me and nobody can help me,
Talk to you.
then I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go jail for doing something.
No, no.
Okay.
Nobody going to jail, Uncle. We're gonna make
All right.
sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, officer. I have one more question too. Yeah, right. Like if dogs start to trespass, right? At that point, right? Then we're just doing humane enforcement at that point. Yeah. Like if dogs are on
To
the
call us, but in Uncle's case,
Yeah.
his land is kind of remote. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the community policing guys, they have ETVs.
Yeah.
We have the UTV. We can go up there. But the patrol guys like me is a little more difficult.
harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mahalo nui. Any other community concerns? In person, online.
Yes.
Okay. One more quick thing.
Okay, really quick about the mountain homeless. Drones assist the police tracking in inaccessible areas. Okay, so drones are available. You have fire department, you have police department have drones. Okay, so something can be done. 2, electric bikes, breaking the law. Okay, electric bikes is a classification of vehicle. If you make the entire classification in the state of Hawaii illegal, okay, no electric bikes in Hawaii, period, okay, you get some attention. Then you have the island of Oahu. Electric bikes on the island of Oahu, illegal, okay? Then you have electric bikes in community areas, illegal. You know, so you do a staggered approach in the legislature and in the council to make electric bikes illegal because of the lawlessness of the users. If the users are not responsible enough to use them and they cannot self-police, by those who are responsible, then no one should use them because it's too dangerous. That's all.
Thank you. Mahalo nui. Thanks, Uncle Ken. Any other comments, questions, concerns from community members, board members for HPD? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much. One more?
Just real quick,
Ian?
I know PWC's personal watercraft were looked at in a similar manner. And at the state level, we created an education process and a licensing process that allowed that to happen. And we got volunteer participation in that in the end. And so it has really cut down on the number of PWC problems and the good uses of personal watercraft like rescue watercraft. So perhaps something with the bikes can be similar with regards to that, maybe an education process. Just a thought.
Mahalo. I'll call it out. Anything else? Any other comments?
Please make a plate before you leave and take food for your friends.
Dinner. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks, officer. Appreciate your time. Okay, moving on the agenda. We're going to come back to where we were on where we left off. We were on city, state, federal reports. This is agenda item number 6. We are looking at 6B. Councilmember Esther Kia Aina's office. We have
Aloha.
Councilmember Kia Aina online. Aloha.
Aloha and good evening. I wanted to follow up first with Dan Bender's question to me. He asked if the city would consider a biennial budget like the state. I did have a discussion with the director of the Budget of Fiscal Services, and he confirmed that in order to do that, it would require a charter amendment and of course be put to the voters. Now, the good news, which is getting to my second item, is that the Charter Commission, we have a Honolulu Charter Commission, and as many of you know, it's only every 10 years that we look to make changes. And the deadline for community proposals will be November 7th. Kim of my office will be putting in the chat box both the link for the Honolulu Charter Commission as well as the form. If the neighborhood board is interested, from now until the time that it's due, you may want to consider a permitted interaction group where members would actually consider amendments, including if you wanted changes to the neighborhood board commission, or as well to solicit comments from the community. Just wanted to throw that out. Lastly, we had sent to the staff member for the Charter Commission a white paper that I've crafted it's called the Oahu Landfill Siting White Paper. And as many of you know, the reason I'm concerned, of course, is because Waihua is off the table. And in 2024, there were 5 sites on the windward side that were identified. So my white paper talks about the history of Oahu's landfill, the status of Oahu's active landfills, the efforts by the city to identify a new site, legal and policy restrictions, and the proposed locations for a new landfill. I feel that the windward site is very vulnerable, and I just want the community to arm themselves with history of our kukua to landfills on Oahu, and to be prepared should the state legislature decrease the buffer zone from 1 mile to a half a mile. While they attempted that this last legislative session, they did not succeed. To me, it's only a reprieve. And so I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on. I have been taking community leaders as well as my staff to site visits all over. My last site visit is going to hopefully be at Kaneohe Marine Corps Base, where it has an active landfill. It's one of 3 active landfills on Oahu. And that's my report for this evening. If anyone has any questions.
Mahalo nui. We're going to
can
start off with Uncle Dan.
answer.
Any questions, anything you want to say in response? Okay. Open that up to all members in person. Any members online? Any community members in person? Community members online? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, council member.
Thank you.
You have a great night. Thank you for your
Aloha.
update. Aloha. Moving on to council member Matt Wire's office. Do we have Chelsea online? Hey, Chelsea, how are you?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Alrighty, let me make sure. Okay, video's on. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and share some highlights from the newsletter that I have. I can make it available after this meeting and send it over. It is always available on our website as well. It's the District 2 newsletter that's available currently. And so just highlighting some legislative updates, Bill 37. So Bill 37 was it's more relevant to Haleiwa, but you may have heard of it. It's the bill that that would reclassify 7.3 acres of land in Haleiwa from ag to urban. And so this measure, there was a lot of opposition for it. Council member also was opposed to this, and it was deferred in council. And so it's going to be recommitted to the Zoning and Planning Committee for further review. So just sharing in case you folks may have heard of that in the news or on social media. Another one of the legislative updates, I will just read this quickly here. It's Bill 49 and Bill 50 proposed amendments that is coming from council member. And so Bill 50 would increase the homeowner's exemption from 120K to 140K. Bill 49 would increase the Kapuna homeowner's exemption from 160K to 180K. These increases would save homeowners an additional $70 from their property tax bill. To provide greater relief, I introduced amendments to both bills that would increase. I'm reading this verbatim. I introduced amendments to both bills that would increase the homeowner exemption to 250 and the Kapuna exemption to 300 K. So 250K and 300K respectively. This would result in additional savings of $455 for non-kupuna and $490 for kupuna. So just highlighting that the amendments are designed to offer more meaningful property tax relief. And so these two bills with those suggestions, like the bills themselves, I should say, they are referred to the budget committee and they are agendized. So it's going to be coming up Tuesday, August 19 at 9 a.m. for folks who are following. And so hopefully we can get those amendments in to provide greater relief. Let's see here. Speaking of, just wanted to highlight a couple of upcoming deadlines for property owners. So August 20, if you folks aren't familiar, the first half year payments are due. And then September 1st is deadline for filing dedication petitions. And then September 30th, so a ways away, but just something for folks because we get a lot of calls sometimes from folks after the fact, but September 30th is a pretty big deadline. It's for filing exemption claims and tax credit applications. So this is all coming from the Department of Budget and Fiscal Services. That's my report. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you, Chelsea. Any questions, concerns from members in person? Uncle Dan, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about, would Matt be interested in sponsoring a charter amendment that would eliminate the salary commission? In other words, he was one of the few council people who didn't want to take the automatic salary raise that occurs when the salary commission recommends whatever they recommend. And it's an automatic process, just as Esther told us. And it would take a charter amendment to change that. And I was very impressed with your councilman because he really spoke out and, kind of was against automatic pay raises for council people. And I was very impressed. So the question is, would he be willing to sponsor a charter amendment that would either eliminate the salary commission entirely or change it so that, it doesn't automatically become a pay raise? In other words, if the salary commission raises makes a pay raise for nothing about it, they automatically get the pay raise. So what the charter amendment would do that he might enter would be to prevent that from happening, because it automatically gears up all the prosecutors' salaries and everybody's salary in the city, in relationship to that, the council people as well. So would he be willing to suggest a charter amendment to eliminate either the charter amendment, the charter commission, or change the way it operates so that it doesn't automatically give everybody a pay raise? Thank you.
Mahalo. Any other comments, questions, concerns from members in person? Members online? Community in person? Yeah, go ahead.
Aloha, my name is Deborah King and I'm a resident. And this is on Bill 37. I was an active testifier for Bill 37 in opposition. And I wanted to bring it to your attention that even though this was for Haleiwa, it was actually reclassifying ag land to urban development land. And I feel that it was brought up that that could be a potential land flip, which is fraudulent in the real estate market. So just be aware, because if that passes, it could set a precedent to reclassify all ag land at a moment's notice. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mahalo nui. Any other questions or concerns, comments from members in, I'm sorry, community in person? Community online?
Chair Sakamoto.
Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you for Councilmember Matt Morris representative. My concern, Citizens for Fair AD ride deal with public transportation. During the tsunami epidemic, there's a lot of traffic jam. We have people that I know that are disabled in gurneys in Kaaba, Hau'ula, and it's all through the North Shore, as well as other coastline. It was a gridlock, and this is a travesty because these people have to get out. So has council member got any input about people with disabilities or Kapuna had a hard time getting out, or other people in the community during the tsunami warning?
Mahalo. And then double check and make sure we get that followed up on. Any other questions, comments, concerns from community members online? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much, Chelsea, for your report. Good to see you. You have a great night. Okay, moving on the agenda, we have Board of Water Supply, Barry Usagawa. Do you have Barry online? Okay, moving on, Barry absent tonight. We're gonna move on to Governor Josh Green's office. We have a DHHL Deputy Director Katie Lambert.
Aloha, everyone. Good
Aloha.
evening.
How's it?
Hi. I am dropping in the chat the governor's newsletter. I apologize for not being able to be in person with hard copies tonight. Highlights from his newsletter include the DAG State Archives hosting the second Builder Spotlight, the wrapping up of bill signing season, smoother roads ahead for property insurance market, and DLIR joins schools across the state to recognize ready-to-work graduates. I don't have any follow-ups from the last meeting, so I'm happy to take back any concerns or questions back to the governor's office if there are any.
Mahalo nui. Any questions, comments, concerns from members in person? Members online? Piliho, did you want to repeat your question for governor's office from earlier?
We just had a question about DLNR's responsibility as far as scheduling for the maintenance across He'ia State Park. The sidewalk there has been recently cut. I guess the grass has been cut recently, but still it's very difficult to see the sidewalk, to access it. A lot of people who are running, the canoe club runs there. There are regular walkers from the neighborhood there that go through there in the morning, and it's just difficult for them to see around the bend. And pretty dangerous. So I'm just curious if DLNR has a maintenance schedule that they can provide to us so that we can let our community members know what to expect and feel a little more safe in that area.
Thank you. So the park, not the pier. I just want to make sure that when I deliver the information, it's the right area.
Yeah, the
right?
park.
Yeah,
Confirming
okay.
the park.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions, concerns, comments from members in person, members online, community in person? Auntie Rocky, go ahead.
Yes, I just was noticing, while I was watching the news to see some of our elected officials is going to be proposing nuclear power for this upcoming year. And if our community remember in the past, we fought the nuclear power plant against the nuclear power plant in Hiakia. We fought them for 10 years. So my concern is that they're going to deal with us again. And I don't think we should have nuclear power anyway. Everybody can survive with solar power. But this is just letting us, giving you one, I think this year we're going to be debating on this issue. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Auntie Rocky. Any other comments, questions, concerns from community online? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much. Have a great night, Deputy Director. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to Senator Brendan Awal's office. We have Makana online? Or do we have a representative from Senator Awal's office? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Makana,
Go ahead.
Makana is out today. It's his birthday. And Liz is also out
Oh.
because it's her birthday. Senator should be joining us shortly online. We can move on and circle back if that works for you, Chair.
Shoot, sounds good. We'll put a pin in Senator Brendan Awal's office and come back to them when he's online. Moving on to Rep. Kitagawa's office. Do we have Rep online or someone from her office?
Rep will not be available also tonight. Kalamai. I should have pulled this up already. Do you have her?
I saw that last email. It's kind of late.
Sorry here. Nothing to report from Rep. Kitagawa's office other than a mahalo to those who donated to the Castle Complex School Supply Drive in July and letting community know that they were able to provide over 500 students with school supplies and gave supplies to all 8 of the elementary schools, including Ahui Manu, Kahalu'u, and Waiahole, as well as King and Castle.
Mahalo. Any questions on that little mini report from Rep. Kitagawa's office? Community members, in person or online? Okay, seeing none. We're going to move on. We have the Office of Foreign Affairs. We have Michelle McCoy. Aloha.
Aloha, everybody. Mahalo for giving us this time on your agenda. I do have a slideshow just to show you all the different things that OHA is involved in, and if there's any way that we can assist in some of your issues that may come up. I also brought some flyers that provide for some loan programs, and so it's on the table here. Say next slide.
Yeah, next slide works.
Okay, next slide. I'm with the advocacy PIA at the office, or if you can go next one. So our advocacy for cultural sites in Ibi Kupuna is handled by our compliance division, and we have we support Shifty's call for an AIS in a different district. But so this is part of the work that we do. That's Ukani Loco. And if there is development and EVA is found, we are notified at the Office of Foreign Affairs to address cultural issues. Next slide. And so we also have policy engagement and legal. We have filed suits if we cannot reach or have enforcement met. There are laws often in place that are simply not being followed. And so ultimately, if we have to file suit, then that's what we will do. However, most of the time we're trying to do policy engagement. Next slide. So we've had a number of different requests for cultural protection in certain districts. In this particular district, we've had 3 requests from the neighborhood in 2025. And we are following up. Next slide. So we do support our Hawaiian focused charter schools. There's a list of them there. Many are on this side. That's part of what we do with our funding that we get from the Public Land Trust. Next slide. And so this is the program that I have some flyers on the table there for the Emergency Financial Assistance Program. Next slide. And so we also have been supporting and promoting through funding and advocacy our investments in health. Next slide. And then quality housing is something that we are also advocating for and have done various investments to ensure that those needs are met. So we also support different activities in different communities, such as the Merry Monarch Hula Festival and the annual convention for CNHA, etc. So we are supporting, as you can see, a number of different organizations. Next slide. This is again different sponsorships that we've done for Kahalu'u, including the surf contest in Makaha. Next slide. And so currently online at our oha.org website, and then if you hold your phone up, that's a QR code for our survey. So we are asking communities such as yours to provide us with your mana'o about issues that you think that we could assist with as we're preparing our legislative priorities. So we will have a bill package. If there's some things that you feel that we could address, then please, I mean, just tell us your mana'o regardless, we really want to hear from everybody, and we really appreciate any time that you take to provide information on our needs. Next slide.
Mahalo nui. Any questions or concerns for members in person? Yeah, we'll start with Vice Chair. Actually, Vice Chair Ading. We'll start with Uncle Dan. Go ahead.
I had an easy question for you. I'm in favor of everything that you're doing. How many people does it take to do it? How big is your staff? And what is the budget for staffing?
Well, budgeting specifics, I don't have. We've recently passed a new budget, and we have hired new staff in our particular PIA, which is advocacy. So we have public policy advocacy, and we have compliance advocacy. So we have about 12 people in our staff now. And that's from about, I think we were half that size before, about 6.
So those people do the legislative package, they do the advocacy, all the things that you just mentioned.
Yes.
Being done with 12 people?
Well, some of the other support, for different community events and things such as that, is something that isn't advocacy that does, but yes, the legislative work and the compliance work is from our PIA. We just have, and we just hired new staff recently. Thank goodness.
Mahalo. Any other questions or concerns? Yeah, Vice Chair.
Mahalo. In your bill package currently, do you have anything that supports increasing, or if not, increasing full Kaiapuni schools, maybe bringing language to the elementary schools in an elective capacity? Something already exists there?
No, we do not at this point in time, but we certainly have done grow your own for Kaiapuni and different ways of staffing. But if you have ideas, please, that's why we're sending the survey out, is we are trying to gather people's ideas for different legislation that would be needed for the community.
So just so it's on your radar, if it's not already, Kaiapuni o Puahala has been significantly disadvantaged for several years. Staffing is completely inadequate. Pokumus are coming and going, and really because the school operates not in a full Kaiapuni capacity and still teaches Olelo Pelikane, we should have at least 3 Hope Pokumus in order to operate that kula correctly.
Yeah.
Because Hawaiian families are at a significant disadvantage. It's bordering racism at this point. So if we can't support the kaiapunis that we already have established, that's definitely problematic. And the DOE itself cares very minor, if at all, in my experience, for the progression of kaiapuni. So we definitely need OHA's help in adjusting that.
I appreciate that. And we do have a new advocate that has her children in Kaipuni schools. And so she is working very hard and has, she worked for OHA before and now she's back again. And so we are absolutely looking into that. But that is one of the problems is the workforce development for the schools. I mean, I think that there's issues of location, which I think can be not as difficultly addressed, but the staffing issue is something that there needs to be workforce development for it, certainly. So we will definitely raise that to the top of the agenda for our discussions as far as the package goes. But we did propose legislation in the past for a grow your own so that we could have more staffing. It didn't pass, but hopefully we can just keep resubmitting and moving forward with that.
I would like to see, if possible, some pretty extreme pressure on the legislature to do their due diligence and support the kaiapuni system as is their duty.
Agreed.
Malanui. Any other questions, comments, concerns for OHA? Ian, go ahead.
Aloha, thank you for coming down for your efforts. You mentioned compliance advocacy. And so, you know, it's a measure that came up, or a discussion that came up in one of the burial council meetings a couple of years ago with Kai Markel, actually, who I just love. But regarding cultural sites, with cultural sites that are there on the state inventory of historic places, they are there, we know about them, and we would expect that they get cared for. And yet on state, city, and county property, there's a measure of accountability that compels proper respect and due diligence towards those sites. And yet there seems to be no measure of accountability or respect for sites on private property. You know, whether it's corporate property or private landowners, our board ourselves have seen in the last year 2 giant stones at the Ahupua'a boundary of He'eia and Kahalu'u that appear to have gone missing. And we've seen changes going on to sites, big sites. And so, you know, sounds like you're understaffed even with 6 extra people, which was the answer back then. Is there any way that we can do regular checks, regular kind of something that compels even private landowners, you know, even just the ability to access and care for the sites, but also just to see that they remain for future generations as they should and as should be part of that? I mean, I know there are encumbrances on properties, but they need to be saved and cared for in a way, because there's so much development going on everywhere. A lot of it goes under the radar. A lot of it goes without archaeological monitoring or anything like that. But these sites that are significant sites on an inventory, is there any way that we can keep a better monitoring system or have some group of people go around and be like, nice to see you again? You know what I mean? So Kalamai. No.
Well, Kai is still our compliance manager. And interestingly enough, we just had a retreat today and he did go through a lot of the history of different sites and different developments that, yeah, just bulldoze things before you could get to it. And so we are absolutely very aware of the problems and what kinds of solutions for, like you're saying, monitoring, et cetera. I think that, you know, with technology, somebody was talking about drones before and things like that. I don't know. You know, I work in public policy. I'm not a compliance person. However, if there's any ideas that you have of how to address these things, like I said, please let us know. While we're trying to prepare this legislative package, we can also address other issues that may not be resolved at the legislature, but would be something that we can assist with in any way. But mahalo for your.
Mahalo nui.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thanks for making the suggestion. There are areas that are actually no drone zones. So how do we gain that accountability?
Right.
There are many community members, and I think, you know, people who live in the Ahupua'a who are willing to create community groups to help to watchdog that, as unfortunate as it may seem, respectfully so. So thanks. We're willing to work with you all, and we'll take the information down.
Appreciate it.
Aloha.
Mahalo, everybody, for your time.
Mahalo.
You guys have a great board. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. You any other questions from members online, community members in person, online? Okay, seeing none. Mahalo. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate you. Okay, moving on. We got the Wimmer Community College. We have Chancellor Artist Eshim. Is she online? Okay, Artist is absent tonight, so we're gonna move on from to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. Right now, our representative is Keone Machado, to be confirmed. Any updates? Is there any meetings?
Well, our meeting is coming up. Same to report. We have created a temporary committee to go through the Kaneohe Bay Master Plan to see what has been taken care of, what needs to be prioritized, and how we can move forward. And I will have more to report in our next meeting next month after our upcoming meeting.
Sounds good. Mahalo nui. Thank you for your report. Any questions? Auntie Rocky, go ahead.
Yeah, I think on your agenda, I think it's,
Just try tip them.
tip it.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's more appropriate to take my name off and Clifford's name off because we're not on your board, and keep Keone's name on because he's on your board. And the next meeting is August 26th at the Winter Community College. I attend all the meetings, but I'm not on your board. I attend because I'm with Ahamoku.
Mahalo. Thank you for the clarity. And also, excuse my typo. Yeah, no, that's correct. Uncle Cliff and Auntie Rocky are no longer on the board. But as always, Auntie Rocky, you're always welcome to come and give your insight, right? Along with Keone. So again, thank you for your report. Thank you for serving on the board and in representation of this board. Okay, we'll park that there and move on to U.S. Congress Rep. Joe Tokura. Do we have anyone from Rep. Tokura's office? Okay, seeing none, then we'll move on. We have the Kaneohe Marine Corps base. We have Auntie Christy Koluhiva here in person. How's it, Auntie Christy? How's the Blue Angels?
It was exciting. Hi, good evening, Chair, Neighborhood Board, community members, and congratulations all the new members. And thank you for coming in person. It's good to see you in person and not on the screen. We did want to say thank you to all of the members of the community for their patience while the Blue Angels arrived, as well as some of the other aircraft. Beginning on Monday, we started to see the flights coming in, and during their practice times, some of their practice was done over at Hickam, but a good part of it was done on our side. We did receive a wide array of telephone phone calls that consisted of please stop to this is the greatest show ever. So when I was driving home, I saw multiple families on their roofs and in their yards just videotaping, and that was encouraging, obviously, for me to see. And I did want to share that we do have an online form as well as a phone number that is currently under construction for people to call and to put in their complaints, their concerns, or any information regarding any training noise, whether it be artillery or whether it be aircraft. The form that is online is very detailed, so you can even input full descriptions of aircraft, time that it was seen, and this information is very helpful when we go to look for who that may have been.
This airspace is not only utilized by the Marine Corps, but Navy, Air Force, the Air Reserves, Air Force Reserves. And we do also have training units from the continent that come over to train. So with more information, when anybody is concerned about training, the details of the time and everything is really helpful for us to know exactly who it was. Because if they were training and they did something that wasn't within their training plan, we can address it. And with that, so as I said, our website is under construction and we should have that new information, and I will bring a new QR code for the community so they can have easy access. We expected about 100,000 people. We did, it was a great time. My kuleana for the day was to participate with the C-130 community flyers. And we invited Joe Watt to come. However, we had a hiccup and we had to switch the day. And when we switched the day, he couldn't come, but he was invited to come out to fly in the C-130. So was Lico. He got to go. And we invited a few more of our community members. And again, it was unfortunate that due to that last minute change in the date, those that we had invited were unable to participate. We asked Bonnie Kahapea from Kanemonumoku to come. Her husband did though. So he did get to. He was a little bit more flexible with his schedule, and a few other members of our community. I was able to share about the Kopiko Regatta, right? The last time?
A little bit,
No.
a little bit.
Oh yeah, so July 13th, yeah, we had the open base. So we've had 2 open bases within a period of just 5 weeks, inviting the community to come in. And as much as that we can work with the community to incorporate more cultural practices, we want to, which the next one will be Makahiki. And you'll be up for that one. And we'll send invitations for our community members to participate with that. Other than that, that is all I have for this evening. If there's any questions.
Right on, mahalo nui. We'll take questions, concerns, comments from members in person. Uncle Dan?
So I was very impressed with the Blue Angels, but what made me really happy was I didn't see any other kind of aircraft up there. I didn't see any tourist helicopters. I didn't see any drones. I didn't see any fire department helicopters while you guys were working. How does that work? Could you get somebody from the Marines to tell us how they keep track of all those different kinds of airplanes? Because normally on Thursday, I see a Predator drone and I see the fire department practicing picking people off the top of the mountain. And I sometimes see the, the helicopters, and also some, there could be lots of tourist helicopters going by. How is that all controlled so that nobody crashes into anybody? Could you find that out for next time and give us a real specific answer about that?
I can be as specific as I will find out. I can tell you though that the tower that is there is connected obviously with the FAA, and they do work with the Honolulu.
I'd like to hear that. What you find out from the military.
Will do. I know I go up in there all the time. I have the gunny on speed dial.
Because we really have 5 or 6 different types of airplanes. I mean, we're all the one. That's great. I really was impressed. But on Thursdays.
Uncle Dan, so just in the mic, if you can. Okay. You got him, Auntie Christie. Thank you. Moving on to, we get
Sorry,
Vice Chair. Vice
Auntie
Chair.
Christie, I had a quick one. While I understand that practice is necessary for an event of this stature, the kids in the elementary schools, particularly in Ahui Manu, were severely disrupted through their school days in the practice during the weekdays ahead. In the future air shows, could you ask them to adjust the time towards the end of the school day where they're not interrupting their math and ELA instructions? I don't know how feasible that is, but it's courteous to community who are still trying to live and breathe.
We can ask.
Thanks, Auntie.
Mahalo nui. Any other comments, questions, concerns, members in person, members online, community in person, community online? Okay, Seeing none, we are gonna round back up and come back to Senator Awa's office. I think we have Senator online. Aloha, Senator.
Hey,
How's it?
aloha. Just signed on, so I didn't catch what happened earlier. You guys' video is so clear. It's been a while since I came out to see you guys. Sorry, but congratulations to everybody who got elected, and thank you all for serving again on the Kahalu'u Neighborhood Board. Some new faces. Thank you for getting involved. Real quick, for us, we're about to launch another project, a third project out of our office. This one right in Kahalu'u. You guys may have seen, and no strangers to the statistics, that our waterway there, right behind Hygienic Store and the beach, is the most polluted in the nation, according to the water tests. And we have 4 schools involved. You guys probably already know all about it, but Waiahole Elementary is going to be dumping Genki balls starting next week into Kahalu'u Pond. They're the first of 4 elementary schools in the area. We're going to be doing this pilot project for 5 months, running up until the start of the next legislative session. The goal with this is to introduce natural microbes, bacteria, back into Kahalu'u Pond, like they did over at the Alawai, like they're doing over at the Alawai. The Alawai, they've shown that they've taken sludge levels down in some areas from 24 inches to nothing. And so our paddlers and everybody, there's a lot of sludge built up there. I don't have to explain that to you guys, but that project's launching. We're excited about it. It's to spread awareness, really, this first part, because the larger scope of what we were trying to get into is we're trying to get upstream into cesspools. So if we show that these microbes can work in Kahalu'u on the bottom side, we want to test them up later in cesspools. And over at the Capitol, there's a lot of interest in that, because when it comes to cesspools, obviously everybody knows we can't afford to switch. So that's the project that we're pushing right now. Over at the Kahalu'u Food Tree Project, DOT we just had a meeting with them last week. Sorry, I'm a little over time already, but we had a meeting with them last week. They're interested in taking what we did in Kahalu'u and Haleiwa and spreading that throughout the state, and they're looking over on Hawaii Island. So that's a promising thing. And going back to the Kahalu'u project, you may have seen the weeds got chopped down. We wanted to do that for a long time, all the Guinea grass or California grass, whatever you may call it, along the hillside. We were able to do that, and we were able to recycle the matting that construction crews use to store their heavy equipment on when they do projects for the state. We had a project out here, the North Shore between Waimea, a road project between Waimea and Haleiwa. And the construction crew, they would have threw away a lot. If you guys want to see how much waste, and it's not their fault, this is just the way it works, but go look at the hillside of our Kahalu'u project. You'll see all of the mats that we took from Haleiwa. Don't worry, we checked them for bugs and stuff, and brought them over to control the weeds there. Because we're trying to turn it not just, it was a project, right? And it started with just 70 trees, but now we got the banana going. We're going to try and plant the whole hill, and we want to make a walking path in between all the trees. The DOT is supportive. They're looking for money for that. But we want to turn it into a food forest. So that's what we're trying to do. A lot of other stuff going on, but I'm already at 3.5 minutes. So I'll turn it back to you. Thank you.
Hello, Senator. Any questions for Senator Awa and his office from members in person? Online. Community in person. Online.
Chair Sakamoto.
Go ahead, Donald.
Yeah, Senator, I talked earlier to Councilmember Matt Wire, a representative. You weren't here, but how was the situation with the tsunami warning? Because I had friends that live down there that are disabled in gurneys and couldn't get out from the tsunami evacuation because of a traffic jam and couldn't find alternative vehicles to take them. Have you heard anything from your community down there, other people who had experienced hardship with traffic and getting out? Yeah.
Are we talking Kahalu'u or are we talking North Shore?
North Shore.
North Shore, yeah, North Shore. The North Shore, it was a traffic jam. It was a gridlock. And it was a good emergency exercise to see how we're not prepared. But the Department of Transportation, Ed Sniffen, he immediately saw what happened, and so they're looking at Drum Road. I mean, this is far away from Kahalu'u, but they're looking at alternate roads to work with the military to open in these types of times. So it was a good wake up call to prioritize evacuation routes.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mahalo nui. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Uncle Ken?
Yes. Yes. You know, the ginkgo ball strategy you're using, can you go up to, you're looking for up the stream, the Hio Place, Hio Place settling pond is a good place to start, and you can access it and you can put your balls in there and they will take probably a half mile of stream and treat it with the balls. So just a suggestion. Mahalo.
Hey, thanks for that, Ken. I appreciate it. And if Jesse or if somebody can get me that location, we'll take a look at that for sure.
Mahalo. Thanks, Uncle Ken. Thanks, Senator. Have a great night. No other questions.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Okay, we're gonna move on to agenda item number 7. We have community topics. We have residential feedback on climate change response plans. Jonathan Lance from the Climate Justice Specialist from the Hawaii State Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission. Is Jonathan online? Seeing none, we're gonna move on to B. We have Ropes for Wishes Rodeo at Kualoa Ranch, Makena Ka'aiali'i from Make-A-Wish Hawaii. I think she was still driving, so we'll go ahead and push that to the bottom of agenda item number 7, community topics. From there, we're gonna move on to agenda item C, 7C. We're looking at Punahou School cross country race at Kualoa Ranch. We have athletic director from Punahou School, Scott Wagner. How's it, brother? Hello.
How's it? Aloha. Thank you very much for having me tonight. So as an athletic director at Punahou, I've been at MidPAC 11 years before joining them. I've been involved in the ILH cross country as well as the assistant state coordinator for the state race for cross country. This year, I was looking to add another race at another venue. I've been working with Kualoa Ranch for the last 6 to 8 months, trying to find a course within their property that would stay away from their tours and keep our runners safe. We've been able to do that. My second priority, if we were able to run the race, is to limit the traffic impact on the community. So we put together a race that we're planning on hopefully running October 4th. It'll be an invitational, so it'll be limited numbers. With working with the ranch, we're looking at no more than 500 people, and that includes runners, that includes coaches, as well as event staff. The plan to sort of keep everybody safe and limit the impact is we're not allowing spectators. So parents and unfortunately other supporters would not be able to come out. We're going to make a film so that they can enjoy their experience on film later. We're going to have a sheriff who's going to be at the property coming into the valley from 6:30 until 8. At that point, the valley will be locked so nobody else can enter or exit. We'll do our races and then we'll be out of there no later than 12 o'clock. And again, we'll have a sheriff there right at the highway to make sure everybody is safe. But everyone should be coming in school buses unless they're event staff. So we're maybe looking at 30, 40 cars total, and then just a handful of buses to bring the teams in, which should limit the impact on the traffic in the community. Thank you. Looking for questions.
Mahalo. Question for Vice Chair?
Mahalo. That was perfect. That answered almost all of our questions. I just want to make sure that your route is also not going to impact any cultural sites. So if Kualoa Ranch has advised you on that, and just making sure that we're respecting any of those sites that happen to be on the property.
I've worked with the ranch a couple of times to walk through the different places to make sure that it's a good course for them, for the cultural sites as well.
Mahalo.
Mahalo nui. Ian, go ahead.
Yeah, just on that note, there are community members too, family members that are related to those cultural sites up in the valleys, and any opportunity for them to be reassured to be involved with that process would be really helpful, because in the past there has been destruction, namely from new paths being made, for past races, other races. So just I know it's off-road, but So it's not off the already beaten path. Would be good to know for these community members if there's any way to get them involved.
Yeah, thank you very much. And that's a great point. And I'm happy to leave my contact information. If anybody in the community has any questions, I'd be happy to answer and share maps and make sure that everybody is happy with what we're doing.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Any other questions from members? Any questions from community? I just have one question, just to confirm. The whole race is staying on property, correct?
Whole race is staying
On
on
Kahalu'u
property.
property.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have rough times of when that's running?
Yeah. So our first race,
6:30 to 8?
so we'll get there about 6:30. First race will start 8:30. We should
Okay.
be power raced by before 11.
Sure.
Awards, out we go.
And then as far as water, you guys using squirt bottles?
Bringing everything in. We're
Okay.
going to bring a water buffalo in. We've got athletic training staff. We're going to have emergency services on site.
Shoot.
Bring
Sounds
in
good.
our own porta potties.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Any other questions from community? Anything before we let Mr. Wagner go? Okay, we're all set. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good race. Thank you. We're going to move on to the Walk Bike Drive presentation from Paula Bender, the Walk Bike Drive coordinator with the Hawaii Bicycling League.
Aloha, I'm here. Rachel
Hi,
is
Paula.
going to, hello. Rachel is going to launch my 3-minute and 18-second presentation. And then after that, I have a few words to say, and I would be welcoming questions, suggestions, answers. Sounds like the audio's not on.
Is there video audio, Paula?
Yes, it's attached to this production here.
Okay. Okay, give us 1 second. We're just gonna check everything out.
Okay.
You guys hear anything?
Would you like me to read this out loud?
Yeah, if can. I think that might just be a little easier, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. The Walk Drive Bike Drive presentation is funded by a grant from the Department of Transportation for highlighting the importance of pedestrian bicycle safety on Hawaii's roads. Whether we walk, bike, or drive, safety is everyone's responsibility. Next. Next slide.
All right, give us 1 second. Just try fast forward.
Sure thing.
The next one. Yep. Good. Okay.
Okay. We have a vulnerable road users law now, which is designed to protect those who are traveling outside of motorized vehicles, such as pedestrians and cyclists. And when you think about it, this also includes mopeds and e-bikes. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Next slide. So far in 2025, the entire state has more than doubled its traffic fatalities of 2024. So we're at 80 now. Next slide, please. And in the 10 years from 2014 to 2024, on average, 28 pedestrians died. Motorcyclists and moped was nearly 28. 4 bicycles, and then nearly 44 each year in motor vehicles. Next. Whether on foot, on a bike, or in a vehicle, commuters are a traveling ohana. We recognize license plates, stickers, company logos. We merge with a wave, or better yet, a shaka. And when there is a crash, we learn just how close we are to each other. Next. So here are a few things Hawaii drivers should keep in mind when sharing the road with cyclists. In town, there are a few bike boxes. This is the one on McCully at Kapi'olani. And what it is this gives the bicyclist a head start to get across the intersection, and then they have 1 block to go before a bike lane actually appears, so that they're in a sharrow until for 1 block until they get to that point. McCully's pretty busy, so that can be kind of sketchy. And then also remember, when in a crash, the cyclist will always be the most vulnerable user in this situation, no matter who is right legally. Next slide. When passing, allow for 3 feet between your vehicle and a cyclist. It's a big deal. Next slide. And then share when you see sharrows, which is the 2 chevrons above the bicycle. They are a place where cyclists cannot safely drive on the shoulder, which sounds like that stretch of roads you folks are talking about that needs its weeds taken care of. Next slide. So what are cyclists telling you? Understand their road signals used by cyclists. Stopping or slowing down is the left arm pointing down or the right arm behind the back. Left turn is the left arm stretched out. This is also to change lanes. And for the right turn, left arm up or right arm outstretched. Next. Recent NOAA Hurricane Awareness meeting, HPL Executive Director Travis Council provided another reason bicycles make sense. During and following an emergency weather event, a human-powered bicycle is most reliable, especially if power outages persist, the internet is down, and roads are blocked to motor vehicles. Next. Everyone has the right to be safe on Hawaii's roads. This precept in Hawaiian law originated with King Kamehameha I in 1797. The law was added to the Hawaii State Constitution in 1978. Next. Please kokua, make the right decisions. Driving with aloha means everyone has a great day. And finally, send your comments or questions to me, paula@hbl.org. Mahalo. So I apologize. I don't know what happened that the sound didn't come through. But a couple of things I wanted to mention is that when, as a cyclist, I am always on bike lanes or on the shoulder. And it's very jarring to be sharing it with mopeds because they're not going less than 20 miles per hour, or e-bikes. Anybody they're allowed on the bike lane if they go less than 20 miles per hour. And that's not happening. And another thing I wanted to bring up is, you know, we have the vulnerable road users law, but when we see e-bikes on the road, should we look at them as the ones who are vulnerable? But should we also look at ourselves as drivers and vehicles as vulnerable? Because if anything happens to them and they're right in front of us, who's the one that's legally going to be held responsible? So we're all on the same page when it comes to e-bikes, and I kind of liked Uncle Ken's suggestion about making them illegal. Let me see if there's anything else I needed to talk to you about. Just checking my notes. So I would like to encourage everybody to drive with intention. In fact, DOT and traffic laws actually consider cyclists drivers on the road. So we're all sharing it together. And that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mahalo nui. Any questions, concerns? Well, go ahead, Ian.
Thank you, Paula.
Yes.
Especially for explaining that at the end there about the e-bikes. Now, my question to you has to do with recommended routes. I mean, here an area-specific challenge is Kahalu'u. And the lower road there, Kamehameha Highway from the King Elementary School all the way to the 7-Eleven over there. We as a board highly discourage bikers, any sort of cyclists or anybody like that from utilizing that road because, as it was pointed out earlier, it's only 10 feet wide on each side. There's no pathway. There's nowhere to go. So it makes the drivers and the cyclists very vulnerable. Is there any maps or anything that you have or that your organization has that has recommended routes and routes that are not recommended, in fact, that should be cautioned or maybe, short of being banned from bikes. The cyclists who do their rides around the island, is there any way to let them know that this is not the route to take? That's my question, or anywhere people can look to see those kind of recommended routes.
I understand completely. I'll take that back. I know that Travis is on several committees about safe streets all over Oahu and throughout the state. As you know, next month is the HBL Century Ride, which will take everybody to Swansea Beach Park and back. And that definitely includes that road. And maybe that could be a catalyst for getting it cleaned up ahead of time. But if there were options along there for people to ride on, but as far as traffic goes, as I said before, cyclists, especially those of us who tend to ride fast and together in groups, are considered drivers and are entitled to the whole lane. And I think that as long as that is in fact, I don't think that we'll get banned from any traffic lanes.
Mahalo. Thank you very much.
Can I respond real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. I actually really appreciate knowing that. Don't know how that affects driving speed limits and the lower end of that with the cyclists that are there. In the past, we have asked bike races to actually utilize Kahalu'u Highway and avoid that area altogether. Of course, we'd rather not ban things, but we'd like to see everyone remain safe and be respectful to each other. As you said, we drivers really worry about it, especially when we have, when there's an opportunity to go around a bike, is it even safe to do that on just a one-lane road going each way? So,
right.
So those
Hey,
are
and
the
I
kind of
like Kahalu'u Highway. It might look scary, but it's really not that hard.
if you can make the hill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to Keone. He had his hand up.
Yeah, so two things. One, with what Ian was just talking about. So like I talked to a lot of people in the community and they asked me to bring up these issues with the bike riders on the road. And you stated that they have the same rights on the road that drivers do. And when I tell people that, because I know that that is in fact what it is, everyone's response to that is, so if they have the same rights as us, why don't they have to follow the speed limit like we do? And it goes both ways, right? Like if we go over the speed limit, we could be pulled over, but also if you go significantly under the speed limit, you could be pulled over as well. So is there like something that you could tell me that I could tell them when they ask me this question about like what is the difference? Because like you're part of the Hawaii cyclists, group, right? So like you understand it from your perspective, but I'm just providing the perspective of the rest of the community is where this question is coming from.
Okay, Keone. What I'm wondering, are they talking about cyclists who are going too slow or too fast?
Well, no, they're talking about cyclists going too slow at that point where they're going under the speed limit and what their response when I say, well, that's just what it is, they respond with, well, we have to follow the speed limit both ways, where if we're going too slow, you could be potentially pulled over and question, why are you going so slow? And so like I was just curious because like I'd like to have a better answer than, well, that's just the way it is when people ask me, because a lot of people in my community know me and they ask me these questions, they know I'm so yeah, like now that we have you here, I can ask you that.
Sure, Keone, I will take this back to Hawaii Bicycling League. For me, I would agree with you. And I would need to pass that person. And I would
Mhm.
hope that they're only on the road for a little bit so that there's
Mhm.
a shoulder that can accommodate the slower rider.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. And that's the thing about passing, being patient, taking a deep
Mhm.
breath, making
Mhm.
making a Zen
Yeah.
move, and then waiting until you can pass safely so both of you survive the ordeal.
Yeah,
I,
and
I
I totally understand that as well, and that's where I heard Ian what he said is like this stretch of road because I live on the stretch of road that Ian Masterson was just speaking of, and there is no shoulder. There is like no space for anything. We've been fighting the city and county to make more space. And there, you know, you were here from the beginning of the meeting, so you heard. But you know, like that's just one of those things, like, because I'm concerned about everybody on the road. You know, it's like, I don't care if you're walking, I don't care if you're on a bike, I don't care if you're on an electric bike or you're driving a car. Like, everybody needs to be safe and aware and understanding to everybody on the road. But you're always going to have these community, you know, fight backs, right? So just like
sure. And
being prepared
also,
to be able to answer those questions is would make be
All
better.
right, mahalo. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Any other questions, concerns from community members? Yep, Auntie Rock, you go
Yes.
ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Auntie Rock. Give me 1 second. Let me recognize Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken, sorry, you hit your hand up. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, regarding the history of this issue on Kamehameha Highway, we were given assurances from the Hawaii Bicycling League Century Ride planner who made the presentation here that they would not be using Kamehameha Highway. They would be indeed be using Kaikili Highway. Now, we've always asked for this exception to what you can call whatever you like, but the problem is vengeance or vigilante riders or whatever you want. But when they have the Century Ride, you don't have one guy going down the road. You have 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 people lying abreast going down Kamehameha Highway, and it's a 5-mile road, and they'll go for miles like that. You can't pass them unless it's like passing a car. So, you know, it's if the bicyclist followed the rules, which is always the case, you know, just like the drivers, if everybody followed the rules, it would be just fine. But that particular race on that particular stretch, there's a strong tendency for the bicyclists to violate the law, ride line abreast, way below the speed limit. And we had pictures of it. We did a complete campaign, and the Century Ride planner said, okay, Kaikili Highway from now on. So please take back and reinforce the agreement was Kaikili Highway, not Kamehameha Highway, from the mall to hygienic store. Thank you very much.
may I respond? I'm not part of that planning committee. If they presented that they are going to be on Kahikili Highway and not Kamehameha Highway, that's what it's going to be. I absolutely promise you. And I just can't imagine any of the cyclists that I ride with going 5 abreast in a lane to hold up traffic. So I apologize for that happening. We can be advocates, we can be educators, we can try to reach as many people as we want, as we can, but we want to do on the roads. And I'm just doing this so I can help develop the culture of aloha between all of us.
Mahalo nui.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Uncle Ken. Auntie Rocky, go ahead.
Aloha, Micah. Ko mahalo, Ken, because you're absolutely right. And to develop the aloha, to keep the aloha, is, you know, you keep the promise and keep it on Kaikili Highway, because you'd be causing a great obstruction coming on Kamehameha Highway. On any given weekend, it's already traffic with the boats coming both ways from Kahalu'u and from Honolulu, and you get a bunch of bikers over there. It's very, very irritating. So to keep the aloha, keep it on the up Kaikili Highway. Mahalo.
All Auntie Rocky, thank you very much. Okay, if there are no more comments, questions, concerns, we're gonna go ahead and leave that there. Thank you very much, Paula, for your presentation. Hope everything goes well.
Thank you.
Mahalo. We're gonna circle back right now to Rose for Wishes Rodeo at Kahalu'u Ranch. We have McKenna Ka'aiali'i. Go.
Hi, aloha. My name's Lily Makaila. This is McKenna.
Hi, aloha.
She is gonna pass out just some quick information. So you guys have something to take a look at. So I'm just a volunteer with the Rope for Wishes event. And we just have a quick little 2-page fact sheet to go over what the event is. And then there's also a stapled survey. We did a quick Google form and put it out to the community to see if folks would give us their support. So I'll talk about that as well. So this event is for the 8th annual Rope for Witches Rodeo, brought proudly and hosted by Lazy Owl Ranch. The event overview targeting in October, Saturday, October 18th, and Sunday, October 19th. We've included the times on there so you folks can understand what the usage of the rodeo arena would be. The pre-rodeo is 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you folks aren't familiar with rodeos, for some types of events, you have plenty of people who want to compete in the performance. And so sometimes you have to do kind of a pre-qualifier. It's not something that we sell tickets to. It's not something that folks get all dressed up for. It's an early competition kind of preparation. And then there'll be the performance, main performance on Saturday in the evening from 4 to 8. And then Sunday from 12 to 6. This is the same as what we did last year as well. So the rodeo at the ranch is for supporting our local keiki facing critical illnesses through Make-A-Wish Hawaii program. Every ticket, sponsorship, and donation directly contributes to turning dreams into reality for these brave children. It was founded, the Rope for Wishes, in 2014 as a benefit rodeo with a singular purpose to help make wishes come true for children battling critical illnesses. Over the years, it's grown to be, a very family-friendly atmosphere, something that is kind of targeted to community folks. This type of rodeo is not something that's like marketed to visitors industry. It's all kind of word of mouth and spread on social media. Most of the time, the folks that come are the ohana of the rodeo participants, as well as the local community in the surrounding area. Wanted to give a quick recap of the 2024 rodeo. So last year's rodeo was held in honor and memory of Tayo Ka'aiali'i. $15,000 was raised in his name for the Wishes Forever Endowment Fund. This year's rodeo is meant to be dedicated in the same way. 800 pre-sold tickets and 500 at the gate were sold over the course of the whole weekend. Total attendance was about 1,200 to 1,500 people. That being said, we understand that there are limits to the permit. And so we understand that we would need to put a limitation on the number of tickets that would be sold. We're happy to do so. Based on the current permit, we would be capping ticket sales daily at 500 in order to make sure that we're following the guidelines of the special use permit. Quickly, to cover the community benefits, charitable impact, like I said, $15,000 was donated to the Make-A-Wish Fund. For the local economy, we do have a small amount of local vendors, a couple of food vendors, as well as other types of vendors. There's usually a couple of folks who might have crafts for sale. Also folks that might sell cowboy hats or Western attire. It's not a huge ho'olaule'a, maybe around a dozen or so vendors came last year. For the community engagement aspect, Rope for Wishes is pretty much all local rodeo competitors. It's primarily run by all volunteers, both youth that are in the Keiki, Junior Wrangler, and High School Rodeo Association. We also have a lot of their parents and other members of the rodeo community that donate their time and their expertise to make the rodeo come to life. We were very lucky last year to have a handful of competitors who came in from Outer Island in order to compete in this rodeo. And again, real positive exposure. In our opinion, this type of event highlights, community, aloha spirit, family-friendly types of events, community types of events that allow for community members to have something safe and fun to do with their keiki on the weekends out in the rural side. For the operations and the traffic control, most of us live out on that side. We all understand the challenges that come with Kamehameha Highway and having that, 2-lane traffic. So some of the things that we do is making sure that there is adequate parking and also opening extra gates in some of the other pastures. That allows for competitors and trailers to park in a separate area. It also helps to limit the traffic that comes in and out of the main ranch's driveway. Also wanted to mention Kahalu'u Ranch has improved their ingress egress over the last couple years. So there's a dedicated in and out, and that has really helped with traffic control as well. We have signage and banners that are going to be helping with traffic. We also have some safety measures in place. Rodeo is family friendly and a community event, but there is some safety concerns that come with rodeo. We'll have EMT and medical staff on site at all times. We'll also be providing security and parking control teams to actively manage the grounds and the parking area. We also will have HPD special duty officers on site to help us with safety and order, especially if there's any challenges with traffic that day. And this event, it has full liability coverage for the arena and the surrounding grounds. The reason why we came before you folks today is based on the update to the county permit for Kahalu'u Ranch. Any private events or special events between 200 and 500 attendees require approval from you folks. So we're here this evening to present to you folks and answer your questions in hopes that you would approve. And then tomorrow evening, we'll be presenting to Ko'olauloa Neighborhood Board to seek their approval as well.
Before I recognize you folks, just a quick question. Is there anything that you folks need as far as documentation from this board to take back to you folks at Ropes for Wishes or Make a Wish?
Taylor,
Like
do you need
hard
anything?
copy physical? Hmm. Nah, because I think just to the same point as the former agenda items, right, we would, but we can either, make a motion to support it, right? But also by taking no action in general, that's also basically supporting it, right? Because any action in other than direct opposition against it really is basic by default support. I'll take comments from Vice Chair.
I just want to add, because I'm also not familiar with this, so I don't know what this is at the city. Is anybody on from the city still, by chance? Any representatives? Any council members or Chelsea? Anybody still on there? Chelsea, do you know about this? Because as far as we know, we're not allowed to approve or deny anything. We can only offer support or opposition.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Usually when folks come before.
Kalamai, Chelsea, your audio is a little bit muffled. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot there. Sorry if you're busy, but we're just want to make sure that we can respond accordingly to the city's new permit. What are these
How's this?
regulations? That's better. Thank you.
Okay, great. So yeah, that's my understanding too. So it's you folks just similar to what Chair was mentioning, that they're just asking for, I guess, like general approval, but it doesn't kind of fall onto you guys wholeheartedly. But I think you guys have the right idea.
Okay, so just so the city is not granting the neighborhood boards approval granting privileges for permits, correct? We're just saying yay or nay, we're good with it or not good with it, correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah, that's my understanding.
Mahalo for that clarification. And since we're on the topic, for anybody listening now or in future, if you're looking back at recordings, the neighborhood board does not approve or deny anything. We take all of the commentary and we say whether or not we support it or oppose it based on our community input. Thank you so much.
Mahalo nui. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, mahalo for your presentation. Uncle Dan, comment, question, concern?
So for those of us who live on the Kahalu'u Highway, when there's no event, when nothing's going on, we can't go to town. In other words, we have to adjust our lives so that we can even do on a normal day from my front door to the hospital to shopping on Saturday, okay? So by your having an event on 2 days, you block out Saturday, which is for me, church, and Sunday, which is church for everybody else. So I'm totally in agreement with your event. I think it's good, but you have to be aware that by putting it in our neighborhood, just because of the way the roads are, nobody can get in and out for that period of time. And that is a major concern. So I can't approve it, I can't disapprove it, but I can recommend to the board that they note it and share it with the city, because as it is now, you cannot go out on the Kahalu'u Highway on a Saturday without planning, you know, for the traffic. So if I'm going to go somewhere, I've got to leave before 8 o'clock on Saturday, and I may not be able to get home, okay? Anybody who has a medical issue who needs to be home can't do it, right? So that's incredibly inconvenient for a lot of people, not just old people like me, but everybody else, the entire community. And you're suggesting that we shouldn't do it just once, but twice, right? So that's 2 days back to back. That's a major concern. But everything you're doing, right on.
Mahalo for your comments.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Dan. Keone, online, you have your hand up?
Yeah, first off, I'll say cuz Lily, long time no see.
Hey.
I wanted to know where the website is, or like if you guys have the information for the website to purchase tickets online, and then like roughly how much it costs to buy a ticket for the event.
I think the question is relating to tickets on a website for the event.
So
Yeah.
we have social media. If you go on Instagram, you can go to Rope for Wishes Hawaii. Yeah, at Rope for Wishes HI.
Okay.
Information on Instagram. We also have a tiny URL website as well. We can maybe share that in the chat.
Okay.
Perfect.
Roger that. Yeah, I'll hit you up on Instagram later.
Right on. Mahalo, Keone.
Thank you.
If there's no other questions, concerns from community members, I just have a question for Taylor, just a quick one, just in general, right? Because ranch operations will still be open, yeah?
Correct.
During that time, yeah?
Correct.
On average, like what does ranch operations see on a weekend as far as daily visitors?
It all depends on the season.
Yeah.
I think you could average it around 2,000.
Okay, right on. Mahalo nui. Just to, manage expectations over that weekend. If there are no questions or concerns, or any motions from the board or any members, I'll leave that there. Thank you very much for your guys' presentation. Yeah, have a great event. Appreciate it, guys. So leaving that there, we're gonna move on to agenda item number 8. We have residents and community concerns. We'll limit that to 2 minutes a pop. I'll take board members first. Anything you guys want to bring up? I'm sorry. Hello. That's another area. We'll take community. Auntie Rocky, in person.
Okay, it's not a concern, it's a report. I just want to report that on July 26th, we had our first annual keiki fishing tournament, which was a success. It was sponsored by the Makai Watch. Makai Watch is funded by the NER, where it was the first time, in over 50 years, I've seen the pier how it was before. The whole top of the pier was closed off to our community. For the first 40 kids, there was given free lunches, free fishing kits. We had the invasive fishing challenge. It was to catch to'au, ta'ape, and roid, and they had a fish fry right there for the community. And another thing, they also had a deep sea tournament too. So it was a great deal. It was the first, we're gonna make it an annual event to let everybody know that. And it was really good because community worked together, not only with the immediate community, but we had the Department of Land and Natural Resources, we had NOAA, we had all of the different agencies there giving out information and small kinds of gifts to the whole community. Mahalo.
Mahalo nui, thank you, Tiraki. Any other community concerns? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Deborah King. I'm from Chinatown. And I emailed the neighborhood board. I don't know if you received it or not. This is in reference to the announcement A, but I wanted to just make it as a general public comment. We were talking about the iwi kupuna, and I attend the monthly meetings for the Oahu Historic Preservation Commission just as a resident, because I'm very concerned about how our iwi kupuna are treated, especially with construction projects and not getting the correct approvals. And so I just wanted to, in the commission, they talk about education for landowners and all of these things about going through the proper channels. So I just wanted to make you aware that some of the permits are saying they recommend a SHPD review. And in the review, it's saying that it's recommended. However, I believe that verbiage should be changed to must, especially in the high area for iwi kupunas, because recommend means suggest. And so, a lot of our community members are having to go out after the fact when the bones of the iwi kupuna are in the dumpsters and in all those things. So I just wanted to bring this in front of you so that y'all could make that education helpful to others.
Mahalo nui.
Thank you.
Thank you. Comments from Vice Chair?
Mahalo. So a SHPD review is actually required in certain zones.
Right.
It's not required for all zones. So it is required in certain spaces.
Yeah, I understand. And the last meeting that we were just at in a zone that it should have been required, apparently for some reason it didn't happen. So I'm just making.
So that would have
aware.
been because the state has adjusted certain legislation. So
As-
when you next meeting,
Yeah.
that's something that we should bring to attention to the governor's rep, Katie
Yeah.
Lambert, because that is, it's city because city does the permits, but
Right.
it goes down to the state because the state dictates a lot of the land use.
'Cause
and
I know
how
on-
quickly things move.
Yeah, I know on State Bill 15, I believe it was, that was just passed. Apparently some of the language was opposed or vague or something. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo. Mahalo nui. Moving on to members online, we have Zena.
Yeah, aloha, good evening.
Aloha.
Can you all hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, board members. I'm a resident of Kahalu'u, and I'm also a researcher with a locally based research team called Pacific RISA, and I'm with Arizona State University. And I want to tell you about a workshop we're hosting at Key Project, actually in the room you're sitting in, next Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. It's a workshop on flooding on the windward side. And basically we're focusing on the area from Kaneohe through Kahalu'u. And we've been partnering with Key Project to develop flood maps and a flood app that should be able to help residents with their response to flooding, particularly in the areas of roads that close Waikane, Waiahole, Pulama Road area. And I've interviewed residents to try to better understand their experiences with flooding, how they're responding, what kind of preferences they might have for solutions like infrastructure or other actions. And so we're going to review all of this work that we've done together with Key Project and with residents. And we'd love feedback. We're looking for feedback so we can finalize these tools and the flood app and make them the most useful that we can for use by the community. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to stick the flyer link and the link to register for the workshop in the chat. You can also find it on Key Project's social media, on their Instagram, and in their link tree on Instagram. Just really appreciate your time tonight, and I hope to see everyone there. Thank you.
Mahalo. Thank you, Zena. Any questions, concerns? Vice Chair
Hello, Zena. No, I was just going to add on from Joe, who is a community member, to go along with Zena's announcement. Key Project is hosting a series of potluck workshops through the next few months for the development of the Kahalu'u Community Emergency Action Plan. This plan will help us get ready to stay safe during, I'm not even timing myself. Now I'm going to take up more time because I lost my place, and recovery from disasters. When an emergency happens, we must work together to support one another, especially when firefighters, police, or other emergency responders are delayed or unavailable. We must be prepared to help each other when an emergency occurs. In these meetings, we will be talking about a 6-step process to identify the hazards and risks we share as Kahalu'u residents, the community resources we have available, and decide how we can take action to care for our neighbors until emergency responses arrive. Scheduled gatherings start tomorrow, August 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Key. Later dates include Thursday, September 4th, Tuesday, September 23rd, Tuesday, October 14th, Tuesday, October 28th. If you are unable to attend the meeting but want to support, we have brief surveys that take less than 1 minute to help us understand communication, household readiness, and evacuation plans for emergency situations. Your kukua and participation are deeply appreciated. There are several flyers and a survey there on the back. I will also post this to social media for those of you who are looking for this online, and I'm sure Key probably already has this posted up. Thank you.
Mahalo. Any questions, concerns? Ian?
Just support for Zena and what she's doing in their whole group. It's really important. They've done a lot of research, and I appreciate them coming out to our community. Thanks, Zena.
Mahalo. Any other residents or community concerns? Okay, seeing none in person or online, we're going to go ahead and move over to board business. First thing, we have adoption of resolution opposing Wahe'e Road commercial vehicle parking. This was a original draft from our member John Rapoon, but we are going to go ahead and roll this over to next agenda just so that he can kind of speak to whatever is written and then take amendments from members, right, if anything is mentioned in person or online. So we'll roll that over, and then we're going to look at approval of Wednesday, July 9, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Can I get a motion?
I move that we approve the Wednesday, July 9th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Got to move in. We'll take a roll call vote.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? And then abstain. Okay, since everybody's voted for the minutes to be approved, the minutes has been approved. Thank you.
Mahalo nui. We'll move on to sub-district reports. Any sub-district reports from one?
Hau'oli la hanau e John Rapoon. That's why he's not
there
here
it is.
today.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to our member Uncle John. Uncle John Rapoon out there celebrating.
Yeah, and everyone be careful. Want to just, regardless of what the cause was, honor and respect the family who lost a loved one in our area over there in the sub-district with a traffic fatality. So aloha to all of you.
Yeah, let's be safe on the road, everybody. Sub-district 2?
Real quickly, this is sub-district 2, but also affects 5 and 6 and part of 1. We need to respond to the city park's recommendation to introduce leash dog privileges and all of the ukana that comes with that proposal. I wrote a letter myself as a personal member of the community, but we need to take action as a board in September. So I will draft a resolution, and I suggest that everybody come with prepared amendments. Thank you.
Mahalo nui. Thank you. Sub-district 3. Sub-district 4. Uncle Ken?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
I think the only thing I gotta say is on the sharp turn, right, where Ahui Manu Road meet Ahui Manu Place, right after, because I think 2 meetings ago I was talking about how they restriped our roads. Not more than a month after that, someone who had blue paint on the back of one flatbed truck made that turn and never strapped their paint cans on. And so now I get blue paint all over the middle of that sharp U-turn or sharp turn that everybody basically has to stop on. It's just an eyesore. I mean, it's nothing like safety hazard, right? But ultimately, it's just like, let's not forget, right? That could be, that could be one kid in the back of the truck. So let's make sure everything is strapped down and make sure that everything is secure before we start moving. That's all I got for Subdistrict 4. Subdistrict 5. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, Uncle Rick, is that something you wanted to speak on 4?
No, I wanted to go back to 2 because of this ripoff of the gutters on Key Project. And it's on video, so please look at the video to see if we can apprehend the guy. I mean, this is just stealing from
Yeah.
all of us.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Mahalo for bringing that up. Thank you. We'll keep an eye out. That was for 2. We just finished 4. Moving on to 5. Any report for 5? And then we're still looking for members for 6. Fine friends, we'll fill it. We'll fill it. I promise. Moving on to announcements. Like our community member said, right? SMA major permit application to allow the construction of a single-family dwelling with a swimming pool in the R10 residential district located at 430D North Kahalu'u Avenue, Kailua, Hawaii, TMK number 43-017019. As it is right now, the application is being heard at a public hearing Friday, August 22nd at 10 a.m. at the Frank Fossey Municipal Building. 6th floor, conference room 650. This is at South King Street, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. The public hearing will also be advertised in the Honolulu Star Advertiser, and all interested persons are invited to attend. Other than that, you guys can go ahead and provide testimony as it relates there. Again, to our community members' point, it is a shoreline beachfront property, and they are looking to do swimming pool installations, right? So there's always the potential of EV kupuna disturbance in situations like that, right? So just kind of keep it on the radar. I'll leave that there. And then last announcement, right? Next regular board meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, 6 p.m. in this room here at Key Project. Mahalo nui, everybody. You guys have a great night. Oh, yes. One last comment.
Actually, this is actually a big mahalo. I came here for the climate sustainability class. And when I came, there was no street sign at the end of the road. And so I went out and took a video and I emailed the state and city, and they've got a street sign up now. So I just wanted to let y'all know that writing in does work. And I sent them a big mahalo when I realized it. So thank you so much.
No, mahalo nui. Thanks for being a big advocate for the community as well. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks for attending the meeting. We'll see you guys next month.
Mahalo.